you're a golfer, you either have told somebody this phrase and tip, or you've heard it being told to you. And if you haven't, just play golf a little bit longer and someone will say it to you. It's very common. That's what I'm saying. Have you ever told anyone when they hit a bad shot to slow down? Slow down your swing. Or have you ever heard anyone tell you when you hit a bad shot, God, you got to slow down. You're just swinging too fast. This video is going to seem like it's a complete contrast to the video I created last week, because I had talked about how speed training can really get you. It can cause a lot of injuries to your body when you're trying to only beat the number on a monitor to swing fast. And if you don't have the right fundamental swing or have enough fundamentals in your swing, it can really get you. It can hurt you. It can hurt your body. So I talked about effortless power that is generated from doing the right motion. It's just a side effect to that. Well, this is about somebody suggesting that you should swing slow, and it's different than effortless power. So it's almost just as detrimental to trying to swing fast, because of the fact that it is not a solution. It's just a Band-Aid. We're all clear that speed training could get you after watching the video last week. It can really get you to just trying to swing fast and trying to swing hard when you don't have the right motion. Not everyone is speed training, but that was the awareness I wanted to give out last week, that if you do approach it, reconsider and check to make sure that you're doing the right motion. When it comes to trying to slow down, when you're not trying to speed train, okay, that's different. Like if you're not trying to speed train and you're just swinging and somebody goes, you got to slow down, you're swinging too fast. Most likely, if you were to measure your swing speed, which I don't recommend, because what's going to happen is you're going to now go down that rabbit hole of trying to beat the number. You'll be like, oh my gosh, it's so slow. And then you're going to try to beat the number, and then you're not actually going down to the root of working on your swing fundamentals. So yeah, I don't really recommend that. But I'm just saying that for most people that are not speed training, but you hit some bad shots and you think, or somebody else says you need to slow down, already has a slow speed. It's not because you're swinging fast. It just seems fast and aggressive to most people, and you feel it yourself because it's in the wrong motion. For example, there are many ways to have that deception, but let me give you an example. If you have a swing that is more on plane, so it's more on plane like this, then when it comes down, it's going to allow for the speed to be where it needs to be. It'll accelerate where it needs to be. Now, if you are coming over the top, meaning you bring the club forward and it drops like you're chopping wood, it's going to look fast, deceivingly fast, because it just kind of drops from the sky. You know, it's more of an abrupt, upright angle of attack. So that's what people see. And they'll be like, slow it down. You're just swinging too fast. It's not. It's actually really slow club head speed at the ball. It's just the abruptness that's making you feel like you need to slow down, and somebody else sees it and goes, you need to slow down. It's too fast. So if you were to measure that swing speed, it's not very fast at all. So where I'm getting at is, okay, it's a little bit better than having somebody do speed training for anybody to go, you know what, you need to go faster because look at the numbers, it's slow. So you could have somebody coming over the top and it's like the numbers are slow and it's like, go faster. That's bad. That's actually worse than somebody saying, slow it down. Yeah. But telling somebody to slow it down on a steep angle of attack or a chopping motion is only going to go so far. It's really not resolving the situation. So that is not a good solution in the long term or in the short term, because that action needs to be resolved. So then it funnels back into last week's video where I talked about effortless power. That's the way to go. This also funnels back to effortless power, and it also funnels back to doing the right motion. You just can't bypass that. Everything ends up being a compensation on top of compensation. So whether you try to swing fast intentionally and speed train, whether you try to slow down a motion, it's still a bad motion. If somebody says slow down, it's still a slow, bad swing. If somebody says speed up, it's still a fast, bad swing. So I hope you can wrap your mind around it, because if you can't, what is going to happen is you're going to go, wait, this video is a contrast to what you said last week. But I'm just telling you the two different spectrums that aren't good. Two different types of tips and gimmicks that aren't good. And then I want you to find that middle ground, that middle path of, oh, it's whatever speed a good motion can withstand that better, but it's better to then let the good motion create its own force and effortless power. Then the duality of fast and slow isn't something that I teach and gravitate towards. I don't go, yeah, I like fast swings or I like slow swings. It's not fast or slow. You're going to have your own speed that has its own strength and power and force. Isn't that cool? Wait, think about that for a second. So I'm not attached to a slow swing. I'm not attached to a fast swing. It's the motion that generates it, and over time, as you apply it, it will come forth. The right motion will keep it more aligned to your body, and your body will be more aligned to the club. And with that, there will be times where I'm like, okay, you're more aligned. So you can start trusting it and letting go. And then effortless power just starts to happen. It's that force. It's really cool. So basically what I'm saying is, don't get stuck with just thinking that you've got to slow down your swing, because it's still a slow, bad swing. And then certainly speeding up a bad swing is a fast, bad swing, and that's even more dangerous. But I really think both is very dangerous. Every shot, every rep with a bad swing, just a few shots can really injure you. So that's why it's like this public announcement, public awareness that I'm trying to get out there. These tips get passed around not because people are trying to intentionally hurt you. It just gets passed around because everyone says it. It just gets talked about. You hear it. And over time, you'll say it without even thinking about it. That's why I like having people be a little more aware of things, because it's not just being aware of what people teach you or share with you, but also be aware of what you're saying, because over time, if you've never heard that before, let's say you're a new golfer, and beginners, I'm telling you, they come to a lesson, they're like, yeah, I heard to slow down. And I'm like, you already have a slow swing. It's not because you're swinging fast. You're not swinging 100 miles per hour. You're not even 70. You're not even 60. Like, I try to wake people up because they hear it. And then guess what? After a year or two, what do you think they're going to tell somebody else? Oh, slow down, slow your swing down, or reverse, where they're going to go, try to swing as fast as you can because that's what I heard, because that's trending and a lot of people are doing it, trying it, when you don't have the right form to either compensate it, because I really think it's not a good idea to manufacture speed. Unless you're elite of the elite and you've got it and you want to add a little more speed and train for that, that's different. You've already got a form. Most of the people need to get form. I talk about statistics of how far people hit the golf ball, and it hasn't advanced over the years. The distance for a male golfer, an average golfer, is 200 yards for a short hitter. Mid hitter is 217, and a long hitter is 260, but I rarely see 260. I see more 217, 200, and even less, 180. For women, it's a lot shorter. It's like 150 for a short hitter, 180 for mid hitter, and 200 for a long hitter. And I'm like, I rarely see 200, anybody past 200. It's normally about 150. Having somebody say, hey, you need to swing slower, you're swinging too fast, isn't an effective tactic either. It's really just that aggressive over the top motion, just one motion out of many. There's other motions that make it look really fast and aggressive for somebody who doesn't have the eyes to see the golf swing. And so when people don't have the eyes to see the golf swing, you just see this flailing motion and it just seems aggressive and fast. So you tell everybody to slow down, but everybody has a slow swing speed. But again, don't go and try to swing fast either, because that's not good either. You can actually hit it really far with not such a fast swing speed. Surprisingly enough, that's effortless power. So remember, speed training, yeah, be careful, but having someone or you do it to yourself where you think that slowing down your swing can still be a slow, bad swing. What I'm trying to get you to do is start to focus a little bit more. And a lot of times we think of focus as, oh, I need to look at the golf ball and look at the target and really focus. And I'm like, no. You need to first see what are distractions, what is creating chaos in your golf swing and game, and then start to prune and weed that out so that you can start to grow and nurture yourself with good fundamental things. And this is far beyond golf. If you don't like golf, that's okay. That's a good awareness in itself. Like, do you even like the game to pursue the right fundamental things? But in anything, you need to start to focus, but not like what you think focus is. A lot of times people have not learned how to focus. And I'm trying to get you to learn it by just seeing what's out there, what is getting programmed within your own golf swing and game. And within the statistics, I see why. Not just the drives, but for a male golfer, 120 130, for a mid hitter, and then I think 160 for a long hitter is an average. What I see often is for men about 120 for a 7-iron or less. And for women, it says 65 yards to like 85 yards for an average 7-iron. And so that's why I'm like, no, it's not slowing down your swing that's going to make your game better. So that's not a good tactic either, as you can see. So the statistics explain that all this speed training and then the opposite spectrum, everybody's telling you to slow down your swing. Obviously, that's not helping. All I know is I just want to share with you my experience where I've helped the average golfing men and women gain so much distance. And also good golfers to being great. And it far exceeds those statistics without injuring the body, without speed training, without telling people to slow down their swing. I don't believe in speed where it should be fast or it should be slow. There is no duality in that. It's like I encourage you to do the right motion, and then with that motion to encourage you to let go, and then the speed appears from that. The force and effortless power appears from that. I've just seen so much success, distance accuracy, power, feel, happiness, joy. Like people have really flourished doing the right fundamental things. And so I just want to pass it along. It seems like it's going against the grain, but it's like, no, I'm trying to get people to be aware of what you're hearing and what you're saying, because these things can help others see things in a different light that can get people going in the right direction, so you can not only have a better motion and golf swing and skill sets in life, but to enjoy it along the way, that it's not so frustrating. Because a lot of people have hit a wall and they're going backwards. It's just a beautiful game if you approach it properly and you have a better outlook on life, if you can enjoy it a little bit more. It's really a neat game. And also skill sets that people do. That's why I encourage people, pursue something that really gives you joy and then get good at it and take it to many levels. It's really not about really the complete outcome of it, like the score and stuff like that, although that's a side effect. You're going to have good scores along the way, like better than you've ever imagined. It really brings that into fruition. But what's most important is going in the right direction where you preserve your body and you feel like you're growing and being nurtured with the proper fundamentals. So I'm going to leave you with that. Open your heart, open your mind, because this isn't only for you and your golf game and your life, but it can also help you rethink things so that you don't pass along information not knowing, just unconsciously sometimes, just because you think that's the truth, that you don't pass along information that could actually hinder somebody or could actually escalate injuries that they could have doing the wrong motion and then having these random gimmicky tips that get passed around. Wrap your mind around it, because why I'm doing these talks is definitely not to be popular. Because if I wanted to be popular and liked, I would talk about what everybody already knows and they'd be like, yep, you're right. Yes, I agree with you. What I'm going to continue to talk about is because I care. I've always cared for both people that I've taught, continue to teach, and I care about you. It's like, hey, check this out. This is what's out there. I know that I'm going to have a lot of negative comments. I'm going to have dislikes, and I could have 100% dislike and I would still do it, because maybe I could save one person, one kid, one senior golfer from getting added injuries or getting seriously injured. And then they can start to weed out all the bad tips and do the right fundamentals, and then to really see growth no matter what age. You feel more alive and you feel like, wow, this hit feels solid. You know, it's like, it just feels good and you're getting more power and flexibility. That's all worth it. It's just all worth it. So golf is a beautiful game, and I want to allow it to shine. Actually, any skill set that you're passionate about, any hobby, let it shine in your life, because that is part of life. It's that process. I always say, enjoy the process, because most of life is in the process. Yeah. So most of life is in the process. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. Don't just wait for one day, someday. Put in the right fundamentals in your life to even have a good process, to even enjoy the process. Because when you're growing and improving, that is joy in itself. We're all looking for peace, joy, and happiness. It's in that growth. It's in that improvement. It's in that, oh, wow, I thought I was going to be this forever. And you're like, wait a minute, I can be that. I can be better. Yeah, that's really fun. So it's all worth, people not agreeing, disagreeing, not understanding. I'm going to keep talking because I want to share with you what is out there, what is possible. Take care, have fun, open your mind, open your heart, and we'll meet again soon. Peace.